I am a television. I feel no world. Say
I think almost all economists would agree that the basic theory they're working with of how people behave, how people reason, is incorrect. I don't think you could find an economist who would say that it's literally true. So why do we still use it? Well, it has some predictive value in certain areas. So it explains what goes on the stock market reasonably well. It doesn't explain what goes on in families. It doesn't explain what goes on within corporations or organizations like universities and so forth. We're trying to figure out how we can modify that model in order to give a better account of how people reason. In many ways, it's classic philosophy. Philosophy is concerned with rationality. We're applying some of that discipline to the question of how people reason in economic contexts.
Depuis 1975, la société s'est transformée de façon importante, essentiellement par des grandes percées de technologie. Les problèmes que ça pose sociologiquement, philosophiquement, éthiquement sont des problèmes d'une complexité énorme. Donc le paradoxe, c'est que plus la société est technologique, plus elle a besoin de compréhension de son environnement social, éthique, économique, politique.
In our area, 25 years ago, a silicon chip hadn't even been invented. But what has happened in the interim is that we have so many people whose personal details are being sorted automatically using computerized organizational systems. And that is a huge change. Previously, everything was in filing cabinets and shifted around very little. Today, personal data flows everywhere, and that's a really important topic for sociology.
The core dilemma, I think, right now in the workplace is we've discovered how to be more efficient, but we haven't discovered how to ensure equity on a continuing basis. Equity and efficiency are out of balance, and what we're doing is we're looking at the sets of institutions and practices that help to promote both, so that we can both be more competitive, generate prosperity, and also ensure that people have dignity and a fair deal in their working lives.
All Western countries in the last decade or so have had to deal with many questions regarding hosting large communities of migrants and refugees. And all Western countries, Canada included, have to deal with the question of how to best integrate these huge migrant population. What are the policies that can help assist migrants to adjust and to integrate, and what are the problems that prevent such adjustments?
The kind of work we're doing now, though, is quite different. We're not only looking at how children benefit from the arts in I guess what you would call instrumental sort of ways. You know, how the arts help them in mathematics, how the arts help them in language, how the arts help them in science. But we're also much more interested in focusing on the intrinsic values, how the arts help some students, and not all of them, think more clearly about problems, enjoy the thrill of making something with their hands, something that's lost to a lot of kids now who spend a lot of time watching television and playing video games, which is a much more passive form of occupation.
What I'm researching right now is the role of schools in a democratic society. So what responsibility and what purpose is there for schools to teach students how to participate in a democratic society and how to be an active citizen in a democratic society? I think what's exciting about the research that I'm doing right now is that it asks one of the most fundamental questions in education that I think needs to be asked, which is simply, what are schools for? Are they to transmit knowledge from one generation to the next and leave it at that? Or are they to change society, to help prepare students to make society better?
So part of what we're trying to do is not only do the research, but to get it into the public domain and inspire the public imagination a bit.
Quelqu'un a dit récemment qu'on est en train de vivre le troisième changement le plus important du millénaire, pas du siècle, du millénaire. Le premier, c'était autour de l'imprimerie, le deuxième autour de la machine à vapeur et de l'industrialisation. Maintenant, en raison de la mondialisation, en raison de l'évolution de l'information, en raison des changements mais absolument incroyables qu'on vit au niveau des connaissances, toute une panoplie de sujets, on ne peut plus agir de la même manière.
Je dirais que le grand défi actuel n'est ni technologique, ni biologique. Il est essentiellement de mieux comprendre les comportements humains.
The mind, the human brain and the human mind are one of the last uncharted mysteries. We've already deconstructed the human genome. We understand a lot about the mysteries of where life comes from. We understand a lot about the origins of the universe and how, planets and things and matter came into being. But one of the last mysteries is the nature of thought, the nature of consciousness, the nature of subjective feelings, pleasure, the feeling you get when you listen to a piece of music that moves you. I think we've come into a new era of social research in Canada where everyone now seems to agree how important it is to understand the dynamics of the new society. And it's critical that we continue to have that support coming from the private sector and the public sector in order that we have genuine, independent social research which is being done and people are not just singing the tune of the piper.
When you open up the paper and you look at the issues there, whichever you're looking at, you need understanding. You need background information. And this is what we provide, us researchers in humanities and social sciences.
Well, my current project is a short grant called Information. I should know what it's called.
Yes, you too can be the proud owner of a shirt grant.
Hey. My current short project is funded under the Initiatives on the New Economy Strategic Plan. What the hell is it called?
Back up. Initiative on the New Economy.
Initiative on the New Economy, Strategic, blah.
Strategic research grant?
Yeah.
You have a strategic research grant under the Initiative on the New Economy?
Yeah, yeah.
So you don't forget, order before midnight tonight.
No, if I don't the impact stuff. Yeah, okay.
No, okay.
If you play that in front of the Congress, everyone's gonna be like, yeah, him. Really? Yeah, if you play it in front of politicians, that's fine. But
well, I got the two in my audience, so the only thing is we think, but that's
I just got a huge thing of water on my head. Yeah.
Step away from the gutter. Step away.
Yeah,
from
okay.
the gutter.
Yeah, that's right.